Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. In Eastern Europe, a fierce war is underway. Ukraine is struggling against Russian aggression, and every American must understand what's at stake, and I hope wholeheartedly support Ukraine in this. Let's look at what's happened. When the Soviet Union broke up in 1991, 90% of Ukrainians voted for independence, including in the Russian-speaking areas of Donbass and Crimea. In 1994, the United States persuaded Ukraine to give up its nuclear weapons and its missiles. The nuclear warheads were transferred to Russia in response or in exchange for an agreement to preserve the sovereign territory of Ukraine, including Crimea. The United States signed that promise, Russia signed the promise, and Britain, the United Kingdom, signed the promise. In 2013, the Ukrainian government decided that it would not align with Putin in the Euro-Asian Security and Economic Agreement. Instead, it would look to the West. When the government of Ukraine tried to do this and go with Putin, the people in Ukraine resisted in the so-called Maidan. As a result of this resistance, the Russian puppet leader of Ukraine fled. The Ukrainians really built a democracy. Putin secretly put in his special forces to seize Ukraine. The United States told the Ukrainians not to resist Putin. We told the Ukrainians, surrender Crimea so we don't provoke Putin. It was a classic misunderstanding by the United States of Putin. A year of warfare followed, and finally in 2015, the fighting stopped with an agreement that was a flawed agreement that the Ukrainians couldn't sign because it actually gave Russia control over the entire government of Ukraine and control of the eastern province. So when Ukraine didn't sign, by 2022, Putin decided to invade. So it's been 3.5 years of warfare, 1 million Russian casualties, maybe 500,000 Ukrainian casualties. Ukraine, with 1/3 the population, has resisted successfully with U.S. and European support. This war is not a stalemate, but Ukraine has the technological edge. Russia has the manpower edge. President Putin has Chinese and Iranian support. Ukraine is fighting for democratic values that we share. Ukraine is the embodiment of all that we believe in the United States and democracy. Should Ukraine falter and fail, Europe cannot immediately pick up its defense against Russia. Ukraine's forces are the strongest forces in Europe, stronger than the rest of the European forces combined. So, I think what you have to understand and what I'd like to convey is, as this war goes in Ukraine, so goes freedom and democracy in Europe. So goes NATO. And with that, so goes the American vital interest in Europe. It's in America's vital interest that Ukraine succeed, whatever that takes. Economic assistance, military assistance, political assistance. As Ukraine goes, so goes Europe. As Europe goes, so goes America. Europe needs our support because it's in our vital interest, and that means supporting Ukraine. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.